Mrs. Atkins remembers, set in Whitecliff's rest home, day room, 11 a.m.
You're one lump, aren't you, Mrs. Atkins?
Young man, I'm not a lump. I'm a lady.
That's Andrew. I was a nurse, and I remember them telling us not to thump, well, the person's breathing.
Sorry, Michael, but...
There's no buts about it, young man. Why is it young people these days can't listen to their elders?
Colonel Halliburton, I'm not a young man, I'm 47.
You're a young man to us. You don't even remember the war.
I remember the war. I remember the day Tommy went away.
Why?
Catherine. Oh, bless you, dear. I didn't notice you were there. Now, what did you ask me, dear? Oh, yeah. Why? Well, you see, I remember the foxgloves. It was July when Tommy went away.
You like foxgloves, don't you, Mrs. Atkins? But didn't you tell us at last week's Memory Lane session that you met your late husband after the war?
It was July when Tommy went away. To fight the Kaiser.
Why?
That's right, Mrs. Atkins. Some men did go to fight the war at the Kaiser, but that was the First World War. Tommy fought in the Second World War.
Tommy fought in both wars. He fought in all the wars. First it was the foxgloves, and then it was the poppies. But Tommy always loved pansies. It was pansies were his favourite.
Why?
Because they're so pretty. They catch the eye.
Well, there were no pansies in my regiment, I can tell you.
Where did you see action, Colonel?
Belgium.
Oh, that's interesting. Was it in Lille?
That's France. I was in Wipers.
Was it in Ypres, Colonel, or was it in Popperingham?
Oh, that's interesting. Do you know about World War II then, Vicar? I didn't think you'd remember it.
It was the Great War. That's where they shot them.
Why?
Deserters. Pansies.
Where have all the flowers gone?
Oh, lovely. That's a song, isn't it? You'll all, well, some of you at least, remember Vera Lynn. Of course, we all know this one here at Whitecliff's Rest Home. There'll be bluebirds over the white cliffs of Dover to... Right, well, I expect you remember Vera's version. She did have a lovely voice.
I remember Tommy Atkins.
Did you know my Tommy?
I remember my Tommy.
Why?
He caught my eye.
Oh, it's lovely to talk about the old times, isn't it? Brings back so many memories, going down memory lane. Catherine, you told me once you did a Make to Amend project called A Stitching Time in School, didn't you? Would you like to tell the other residents and the vicar all about it?
Why?
Well, it might help. I mean, we're getting a bit mixed up between the wars, aren't we? I suppose it's difficult to remember things sometimes, for all of us.
People remember things in their own way.
Well, that's right, Mrs. Atkins. I think
It was morale boosting. You couldn't have men deserting. Trenches would have been empty. It had to be done.
There was nothing untoward.
Isn't all fair in love and war? Look at the flowers in the field.
Fields and fields of them, he said. And they couldn't run through those fields. Had to keep order. Had to walk.
Why?
Can't have anarchy. Can't have insubordination in the ranks.
Some of them did. Some of them disobeyed.
Can't blame them. Shell-shocked.
Men don't shirk their duty. And I didn't shirk mine.
Dienst is dienst. That's what Jerry said. Duty's duty. But he never came back, my Tommy. So I don't know what he did.
Oh, look, it's just come up to lunchtime. Maybe we should
I
sort of...
remember him in the hospital. Plus some bandages. My fingers were so stiff and swollen after that.
Yeah, that's right.
I saw him once again when we were demobbed, but he didn't see me. Mustard gas.
Yes, that was the First World War, wasn't it? All those men gas blinded.
They were all blind. All of them.
Blind and lame. That's your department, Vicar.
That was mine too.
And me.
I asked the teacher about the carpet bombing. She said it wasn't part of the course.
It was part of the course though, Catherine. Dresden, Freiburg, all the pretty shepherdesses, all the green fields. I saw a photograph in the museum at Mainz Castanes, next to St. Georg's. It was all red. All red. and a woman standing with a baby. Where could they run to?
Okay, well, I think we'll leave it there for this week. Next week we'll try to talk about something happier. We don't hold these memory lane sessions to get all mixed up and upset. Here at Whitecliffs, we want to remember happy memories.
Why?
Mrs. Atkins Remembers was written and produced by Alan McManus. Katrina MacLeod was Catherine. Andy and Sherlow was the occupational therapist. Elliot Roberts was Colonel Halliburton. Kurt Ward was the vicar. And Libby MacArthur was Mrs. Atkins.